Hey, what's going on, guys? Hope you are all having a great day. And man, I just wanted to send a quick video out. And I know everybody is really busy right now, and there's a lot going on. But I wanted to just send a video out and talk about the role of community leader. We haven't had a chance to really sit down and talk about it much as a group. And as I'm starting to think through life groups, and I'm thinking through how they're growing and the impact that they're going to start having. I wanted to just touch base with you guys, talk about some few things. I've got this document that I'm going to send to you, and I'm just going to walk through it with you real quick. So, anyways, let me start off. First of all, let me start off by saying I've been thinking through what is actually the difference between a life group coach and a life group community leader. And there's two words that came to mind when I thought through this, and those two words were authority and trust. Now, the reason why this is so important is because on a coaching level, a lot of it is support and answering questions, those kind of things. But what we're going to talk about here in a second is it's not just about supporting current life groups, having 2 or 3 groups to support. We are talking about a community leader, somebody, if I can replicate what I do as a life group pastor, and if I can replicate that and put it within a community context where you guys are at, Salisaw, Roland, and now Muldrow with Lauren on board, we can begin to really maximize our effectiveness of our groups, not only within the group context as far as just within the group itself, but also within the group getting out into the community and being effective in the community. So basically, we're not going to take the BOD and plant it in Muldrow and Salisaw and Van Buren. The BOD's going to be in Roland, but our groups can become super effective at pulling people toward the BOD by how they see us in the community and how they see us interacting together. So this is very important as people are coming that are new to the BOD. Say someone from Salisaw is coming in and they're looking to connect. They're looking for something that will give them that'll be part of their community, and that's where the community leader comes into play and our life groups come into play. So I wanted to walk through this sheet I've got that I'm gonna send this to you guys. So what's my role as a community leader? So I put down there's 3 things that I think about when I'm thinking about my role as a community leader. And I'm going to talk about them really quickly. But first thing is the support of life groups within a given community. So I think right now, Salisaw, we have 3 groups. Muldrow, we've got, I want to say 4 to 5, maybe 5 to 6. And then Roland, we've got 10 or 11 groups in Roland, a couple in Fort Smith, 1 in Van Buren. So you can see how spread out they are right now. And so this is why this is so important. As we're becoming more regional, this is going to be a really big deal, supporting life groups within a given community. So what does that look like? For me, what I've been doing with our new groups that we had join the last few weeks, first thing, simple thing, a text or a phone call. And I put in here, how's your group going and what can I do to help? I mean, we're dealing with adults. Not everybody's going to need a lot of help and support, but for them to know that we're there means the world to people. They have questions. They want to know. They might have simple questions. Sometimes they're scared. They don't know what to do. So just asking them, what can I do? How's your group going and what can I do to help? Maybe they need a new resource or they need an idea or something like that. So just letting them know that you're there no matter what. I put down create a Facebook thread or a group message for group discussion and for feedback. Maybe your group has a question, or maybe life groups in that community have a question about something, or they don't know how to handle a certain situation, or maybe you'd like to just send them some stuff about some guidelines within the life group, or you've got information that you're reading on as a community leader that you want to share with those life groups. So creating a thread for just the life groups in your community to be a part of, where you can communicate and talk about events like Christmas is coming up, or we got Easter thing coming up. What are we going to, stuff within the community, creating conversation, creating feedback. And then I put on there, have the life group leaders fill out a favorite things worksheet. Very simple. If you've not filled one out yet, we need to have you fill one out. But finding out some things that they like, some of their favorite things that you could surprise them with their favorite drink on a Sunday, or go by and take them a Sonic drink, or you could, whatever, those kind of things. Those are kind of some of the simple ways you can show appreciation for the group leaders that are within your community. So, number 1, support life groups within a given community. Number 2, launch new groups within a given community. Now, this is where it starts to turn for me from just a coach to a life group community leader. So, when we talk about launching new groups, we're talking about instead of just me doing it, we're talking about us doing it. Together, we are making the ask. We're encouraging people, asking them about starting a life group within their community. Hey, man, I think you'd be a great fit for this. I think you would be a great life group leader. Have you considered or thought about leading a life group? Have you thought about starting one? And you start putting connections together within the church and then also outside of the church. Do you have friends that are interested in the bod, but maybe maybe they want to come to your group first? And a lot of times people, they don't feel worthy to do it. They don't feel like they're worthy enough to lead a group. They feel like they're going to have to be teaching, which is not true. You're facilitating a conversation. So helping them understand and getting excited about starting a group. So a big thing for me is us working together to encourage people that you see that you're like, I think you could do this, encouraging them to start a new life group within their given community. So, and then this goes back to new group support. So when you have new groups who sign up, it's like, here's the resources available. Here's what we do as far as how we start this thing. Something simple. It could be, you guys as a group, the life groups guy, pastor, he'll buy the leader guide. You guys buy the participant books. Just things like that. New group support. And I've got that sheet for you guys as far as the three-step process: inviting, finding a location and time, and then come to me for the details. So things like that for new groups as they come into the community. And then as we get new people in the bod who are interested in life groups, pushing those people toward that community wherever those life groups are in their community. One of the first things I ask people when they sign up for a life group: where are you at? Where are you located? Well, I'm in Muldrow. Oh, great. I've got 4 or 5 groups within Muldrow. What are you looking for? Are you looking for co-ed? Are you looking for single? What, blah, blah. And then I even sometimes throw it out there. Have you even thought about starting a life group? So it's helping push people toward these life group leaders as they're coming in. And then lastly, it's a vision for those looking at the bod, to join their life group. So it's a vision to understand that our life groups are a way to reach out in our community, and for those interested in our church to come to a life group first and then to join the church next, or to be a part of the bod next. And so I think Obregon's the one that said it best. Sometimes it feels like it's easier to get somebody in a life group and then to the church versus the other way around. So I love that concept, and I think having a vision for that as new people start, helping them understand. And you'll see Jason, Johnny, and I do it, and Josh, you'll see us all, we do this. We're always pointing those arrows back out. We're always thinking outwardly about new people coming in and using our group as a way to reach out to people who are interested in church or in the bod or just in community itself. So, okay, so number 1, support life groups within a given community. Number 2, launch new groups within a given community, within your community. Number 3, life group community involvement. Now, this is where we get into the life missions part of the groups themselves, where instead of just having a group and we get together and we talk and we have talk it over, discussion, food, and prayer, which is great, let's add this element to our group, which is community involvement. So, first thing, coordinate with the life missions coordinator for service projects for life groups within a given community. So basically, we're going to use our life groups. Use is such a bad word. We're going to utilize our life groups for projects within our communities. As things are coming up, as we have different things going on, we're going to utilize our life groups to be the visible part of our church in our community. So, second thing is assess supplies, resources needed for group involvement. Say there's a project going on. Somebody's got something going on. It's like, well, I need to figure out what supplies I need. So you're going to coordinate with the life missions coordinator to figure out what supplies are going to be needed for the group involvement. And then number 3 is vision for community visibility. So when I talk about community involvement, when I talk about life group community involvement, a lot of times there's already things going on in the community. For example, in Salisaw, coming up in June, we have Diamond Days. In Roland, they have the Iron Mountain Festival. I'm not sure the date, but there's already these events being put on by the city. And it's like, if we can train ourselves to think, if we can begin to think about what can we do to be a part of that, not let us try to create everything for you to come be a part of us. Let us go out in the community. I was reading a blog by Mark Howell, and he said, in the blog, he says, a lot of times there are people, the most disengaged people in your church are the most engaged people in the community. Right off the bat, somebody I can think of right off the bat that's engaged in the community is Armstrong Bank. I know a good buddy of mine who's the they call it the market president, the branch manager at Armstrong Bank in Muldrow, Trey Gardner. Had a talk with him the other day. Went in the bank, talked with him, and they're hitting up the Sequoia County tournaments. They're all over the community doing stuff, and it's him and a very limited team. My first thought is, man, what if we partner with Armstrong Bank so that we're out there as life groups, we're out there volunteering, helping Trey volunteering, and we're wearing a bot shirt, or we're doing something to help be a part of what the community is already doing. Football games, basketball games, people are already getting together and having stuff going on, that we could just jump in there and show them that, man, we are really the church. We want to be a part of what's going on in your community because we love you and we love the things that you love as well. So life group community involvement it's coordinating with our life missions coordinators, and what we're doing as community leaders. We're not the ones having to do all of the work itself. We are the ones helping coordinate it for those life groups within that community. Let's say Salisaw starts growing to 10, 20, 25 life groups by themselves, and we've got 3 or 4 projects. It's like, hey, life group 3 and 4, we've got these projects, man. This is what's coming on. Here's this stuff happening. You're working with life group leaders to coordinate service projects for their life group within a given community. So these are 3 things that I have in this sheet for you guys as far as what's my role, more specifically for you guys. I've got Chris Thomas's number on here and Michelle Sharp. They're both, I've coined them both the life missions coordinators. They're the ones that are doing a lot of the life missions stuff around our area. So I've got their phone numbers on here. You're gonna have this document. I'm gonna send this to you as well. So these are the things that are practically that I'm thinking through, and I would love to get together with you guys soon and talk more about this role and just begin to give you guys the authority and the trust to know that you guys together we're gonna help grow these life groups within each given community, and I'm just here to help support you guys and to grow with you guys as you are really becoming the authority and the trust for these life groups, and you're really the one that's making it happen. You're the one that's creating these things and putting your touch on these life groups within the community. I'm excited for it. I'm so ready to see how much this thing explodes and how these life groups are going to really literally change the landscape of what the BOD looks like as far as small groups go. So thank you guys so much for your interest in being a community leader and for all that God's already doing through each one of you. I love sitting down talking to Lauren. She's going to be a part of this thread that I've got with us on Facebook. Just the interest in it. Like, she's already involved in the school. She's thinking through things. Joe, I love the impact you're having in Salisaw, and then, of course, JC. I mean, the impact you have in Roland is unbelievable. And so as we're thinking through Van Buren, we're thinking through Gans, we're thinking through Vian, even more in Salisaw, more in Roland. Let's think through how we can start getting people on board for life groups and what this vision really looks like as we take what's happening inside here and we take it and we put it out in our communities. Thank you guys so much. Cannot wait to get with you guys and talk more about this. So I'm going to send this to you. Please let me know if you need anything at all. I'm so honored to partner with you guys as we build this plane in the air, because that's what we're doing right now. So thank you guys so much, and I'll talk to you guys soon.